Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Desenia, and if you're new here, definitely hit that subscribe button down below and hit that notifications bell so you get notified every week when I upload, because you gotta join the fam. It's a great time. We love to grow and be spiritual and be crazy. I cannot believe that we're already in week number 7 of the Mental Floss Challenge series. If you have not watched any of my Mental Floss Challenge videos, definitely check those out. I'll leave a playlist link down below and I'll pop it up in an iCard. This week's challenge, we're going to be talking about affirmations and beliefs. And in today's video, I'm going to be explaining to you guys what affirmations essentially is and how to use affirmations in your life. So if you want to get awakened, if you want to dive deep, if you want to grow your soul, then just keep watching. If you're watching this video, you either don't know what affirmations is, or you're here to create a better reality and to learn about affirmations. The definition of affirmation is the action or the process of affirming something or being affirmed. So simply, if you break up the word affirmation, it's information that you're giving yourself or giving to your thoughts. So affirmations is information about yourself, and you could just, in simple terms, think of it as intentional thoughts. So you're thinking all these thoughts, and everything that you're saying, you're affirming that, and that is, your thoughts become things, and that is becoming your reality. In this video, I'm going to be telling you how to create better affirmations, or essentially to create better beliefs, which leads into creating better affirmations. A lot of what we think throughout the day is reactive, and it is not conscious, and we're not being mindful of our thoughts, and we're literally on autopilot. And usually when we're on autopilot, for the most part, if you're not a positive thinker, if you're a negative thinker, you're thinking of what you don't have, what you lack, all your fears, everything that would vibe on a lower vibration. When you're doing affirmations, you are being in the present moment. You're looking at your thoughts, or you're affirming, and saying intentional thoughts or saying intentional sentences that are conscious and mindful, because you're being present about it and you're taking the time out to set that intention, whether you're writing it, thinking it, reading it, and that is being more conscious, and that is being more mindful. I am is the 2 most powerful words that you can say in your life. Everything that follows behind that, I am love, I am happiness, or in a lower vibration, I am sad, I am stupid. Whatever it is, it could be up on a positive vibration or a negative vibration, and those words, when you create that, you start creating patterns and you start creating belief systems, and that becomes later on your reality. And it starts to materialize in things and with your actions, and then you have this whole thing, and there's your life. Reminding yourself, remember that I am are the most 2 powerful words in the human body language. We must go through like the whole day saying I am, and then whatever else that you're saying in your head. Whatever you put behind these words, it becomes reality. Again, what you think becomes things. So your thoughts become actions, and then it just trickles down. Essentially, we have to retrain the brain and retrain our thinking, just like we said with the conscious language last week, and start thinking positive patterns and positive affirmations. This works is when you start saying positive affirmations, you start forming new neural pathways in your brain, because your subconscious mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. So when you start retraining your brain, it literally starts training your neural pathways to start thinking positive and to start saying those affirmations and getting rid of that monkey mind and that old story that you've been telling yourself. It's a story. Life is an art. So what is the story that you're telling yourself? Think about it, write it down. What is the story? Whatever comes to your head, write it down and look at what your beliefs are and the statements that are not true about yourself. Now let's dive in right into the tips that I have for you on how to create affirmations into your life. The number one thing that you need to start thinking about is what it is that you want to change in your life. What patterns or what belief systems that you have that you want to change in your life. And think of those first and start taking them one by one, or one pattern or belief a week, and so that you could start processing that and to start changing that into a better pattern. You don't want to do all of it at once because it could become overwhelming. I mean, if that's how you want to do it, then do it. But essentially, you want to do one at a time if this is something that you're new at. And you want to look at your old patterns. And then after that, we go into step number 2. And it is, what is your belief about that pattern? So once you start picking out all the patterns that you have, and I definitely recommend writing this down. I encourage you to write it down because it's going to give you that visual and for you to really see it. And then when you find out what that pattern is, you find out what that belief of that pattern is, and then you start thinking, well, where did that belief come from? Because that's very important to discharge that negative energy. So you start thinking, where did that belief come from? And who has said that I am this way? Or, for example, I am not worthy. Where did that stem from? And you might not know the answer right away, but you could still work on discharging that negative energy and to start thinking about the positive affirmation or positive pattern that you want to replace that old pattern with. The third step is to process it. Process where that pattern came from. Do not criticize yourself. Do not judge yourself. Take your time. Love yourself. And then start changing that pattern into a positive pattern. Once you change that pattern, you create affirmations behind it. For example, let's say your pattern is money and you struggle with money and you never have enough money, you just have enough money to pay your bills. So maybe your fear is that you don't want people to take money from you if you're successful. So you have to look at your patterns and your beliefs and see where it stems from. And then once you have that, you want to discharge the negative energy and then create a new pattern. And the new pattern or the new affirmation would be, I am financially abundant, I am fully funded, and everyone respects me, and everyone respects me and respects my financial abundance, and I am honored, I am cherished, and I have more than enough money to give to those in need or those that I want to give to. So that's a little example. It could go way deeper than that. That is just an example from my experience. So definitely look into your beliefs and go by your intuition, because you're the one that's with yourself for the rest of your life and you're gonna know what is best for you. The fourth tip that I have for you is to think about when you had this feeling or when you did have money. So we're already talking about the topic of money, so let's stick with that. So think about when you had a large sum of money, or you were working really hard and you were having a good paycheck after paycheck and you had more than enough money, you were able to go shopping, whatever the situation is. You want to think about the good times, whatever your belief or pattern is that you're working on. You want to think about that, because your subconscious mind, again, doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. And when you think about that, you start to think, oh yes, I did have that in my life. And you are more than enough, and you are fully abundant in your life. When you think back about that time, whatever it is that you had, when you had a lot of abundance of money, or when you had that fun night out, or when you had great time with friends, whatever the situation is, whatever the reality that it is, when you think back of a time when you did have that, you start to change your state of being. And then you start thinking, well, that's what I want again in my life. I want that again in my life. And when you start thinking, well, yeah, I did have that in my life, so why can't I have it again? And then you start, again, changing your state of being, and then you could start attracting those type of things. Oh yeah, I was responsible at a time of my life, and I want that again. And then you start taking steps. You start, using your affirmations, changing your patterns, taking action, and then you start changing your whole reality. Think about the time you had that pattern or you had that belief. If it's a negative thing, think about when you had it in a positive aspect. Now, the fifth tip that I have for you is to believe in it. If you're not believing in your affirmations, if you're not believing in that new pattern that you created yourself, you are not going to attract that into the universe. You're not going to attract it into your life, and the universe is just going to keep sending you your old patterns and your old belief. So you have to discharge the energy around it and create a positive charge, let's say. And if you don't know how to do that, a tip I would say is to look for a spiritual therapist, or to look for hypnotherapy, some type of alternative medicine that will help you take you into that space where you could think back wherever it was triggered in your life, whether it was a child or as a teenager or as an adult, whatever that trigger and that trauma memory is, so that they could take you back to that, so that you could release those emotions and release that, and then you could start creating a better belief system. And that will also help you create those patterns if you're making affirmations and they're not working. You definitely have to believe in them, because if you don't feel it and you don't believe in it and you're just saying it, oh, I am wealthy, I am healthy, and you're not deep down believing it, it will not work. After all of the discharging and finding out what your old patterns is and your old beliefs, this is when you want to make the new affirmations. And be creative, follow your intuition. There's so many different ways that you can make affirmations. Make them as real as possible and try and make them into the now, in the present moment. I am love, I am happiness, I am beautiful, I am a hard worker, and I always get recognition for my hard work now. You want to bring it into the present moment, because it's as if you have it now and you already believe it, and it's in the now, and then you start creating that vibration and frequency and sending it out to the universe, and then eventually it will all circle back and it will start to go into your reality, and you'll start shifting your perspectives and you'll start shifting your reality. The last tip that I have for you with affirmations is to create a story. Whether you write it out, there's all different ways that you could say your affirmations. You could read them, you could speak them out loud, you could write them, or you could simply just listen to them. I personally like to write it, and I like to create a story and write a story as if it's in the now. I am in the career that I love, and spirit and the universe brings it to me now, and I am so happy and I love my job. Whatever the situation is, make it as real as possible and write a story, because when you write a story, you're imagining it and then you're creating it, and then it's actually fun to write it too, because you're making believe, and again, your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between subconscious and conscious, what reality and non-reality is. And then you create the story, and then do it a little bit every day or whenever it is. I would say the perfect time to do it is in the morning time, because that's when we tend to spiral into a negative mindset. So definitely, do it in the morning or whenever it suits you best, whether it's a couple minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever fits your schedule. Create a story and make that story your reality, because life is an art. You are an art. You are a genuine human being. You're a spiritual being, and you're here for a reason, and you're here for a purpose, and I definitely believe we all have different gifts and we're here for a reason. So create that story and do all the tips that I told you to do, and it will transform your life, and you'll start to create more positive changes in your life and create shifts in your life. Make your affirmations personal, link it up with something. Let's say if you're brushing your teeth or taking a shower, take one affirmation and just repeat it in your head. What I like to do is when I'm at work, as I'm, massaging, I like to say what I'm thankful for, because essentially I'm sending positive energy to the person that's receiving the massage from me, but I'm also thinking about one thing while I'm massaging too, but I'm saying what I'm thankful for or whatever it is. So find your affirmations, use one or two and start training your brain and link it up with an activity in your day, one activity, and start doing every day, because we have to go to the bathroom, we have to take a shower, we have to brush our teeth, we have to eat, we have to do certain things every single day that is repetition. So when you repeat the affirmations with your repetitive activities, you'll start creating a habit, and then after the habit it becomes a lifestyle, because essentially all of what I'm talking about is changing your lifestyle, changing your perspective, making your life better and growing and spiritually growing and evolving. Those are all the tips that I have for you for, creating new affirmations, how to do affirmations, and to creating new beliefs in your life. If you like this video, hit that like button down below. Remember to join me on all my social media and subscribe to my channel for more videos like these, or just to see my beautiful face. And remember, you are beautiful, you are here for a reason. Dive deep into your soul. What is it that you want in life? Create it. Your life is an art. Paint that canvas of what it is that you want to create in your life. Use all these tools and take action, because that is what is going to manifest all of what it is that you want in your life. And be beautiful and be happy and be alive and thrive. And that is all I have to say to conclude this video. Thank you for affirming with me and talking about our belief systems. Namaste. The light in me honors the light in you. I'll see you guys in my next video, and go change your life and go create your reality, because you are so powerful and you are a spiritual being here in a human physical body, and you're here to be light and be a beacon of light and spread love. And I'll stop ranting because your girl is vibing high. Bye guys, see you soon. I am love, I am awakened, I am spiritual, I am growing, I am wealth and health. Namaste on the couch.